All righty, everybody. Again, thank you so much for being here with us for today's webinar called Claim Confidence, Mastering Insurance with Carepatron. As you might notice, it says part 1 there, guys. Again, you might have noticed that there's a beta tag right next to your insurance capabilities at the moment through the Carepatron workspace. I'm going to make sure you guys know how to use all the tools and capabilities that we have currently for insurance. As some of you might have noticed, we are still pending on a couple. We will have them ready to go prospectively by the end of by the end of this month, sorry. But yeah, we'll go ahead and show you how to set up your insurance during today's webinar, along with a couple of things that you already can do through the Carepatron workspace. Now, with me on the call, I have Louie, who's going to be helping me out, answering your questions throughout today's call. If you guys need anything, feel free to use the Q&A section, which I'll show you where to find in a moment. My name is Marco. I'm going to be your host today. We're both customer success managers here at Carepatron. Some of you might have already had a chance to talk with us either through the help center via a chat, or even through a quick call to go over some questions, or a discovery call with me. So if you guys have any questions throughout today's webinar, there is an option for you to ask those questions. We have the chat disabled for this call, but if you take your attention to the bottom right corner of the call, you'll notice there's an option that says activities, in which you'll find these options, the third one being Q&A. Feel free to share your questions through that section. Louie will be happy to answer those questions throughout. If there are any remaining questions before the end of today's webinar, I'll be more than happy to answer those before I let you guys go. Okay? Now, what we're going to be covering today are a couple of things: how to set up your payers and billing profiles, coverage settings for insurance policies, how to add those insurance policies for each client, how to create CMS 1500 claims, as well as how to track those claims and what's been going on with them, okay? So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the Carepatron workspace, guys. Now, you might have noticed you also have the possibility to share your guys' reactions through the call. Feel free to let me know if you can see my screen by sharing a reaction, a quick thumbs up, a smiling face, whatever it is, just so I'm sure. Perfect. I see a couple of you guys sharing those. Thank you guys so much. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. Now, first and foremost, you want to make sure you set up the insurance settings. So let's come over here to settings, and let's take a look at insurance, guys. Again, this is what I was mentioning before about it still being the beta. This means we are halfway through releasing all the capabilities that will be available in Carepatron regarding insurance. Today, we're going to be going over what is already available. So let's go ahead and take a look at insurance. Now, the first thing you'll want to add is an insurance payer. You can go ahead and add them through here. Just click Add Payer, fill out the information as needed. There is a message up here, guys, pertaining to what I was mentioning before. It says adding a payer manually to your provider list doesn't set up an electronic claims filing connection with the payer, but can be used to create claims manually. This is for the moment. We are working on that automation, so you guys don't need to worry about having to, send those out manually in the future. Now, once you have that set up, it'll look like this one right here. It'll have the payer ID, phone number, the address for that payer, the coverage, as well as your billing profile over here, guys. So you can edit that information, depending on if you want to have an organization or a personal type of billing address, guys. You can go ahead and do that profile. Sorry, you can go ahead and do that right through here. You can also add additional billing profiles if you guys want to by just clicking billing profile here. And it's the same interface we were just taking a look at before. Also, you can change or limit the access to this billing profile for different team members or different insurance payers, okay? Now, this is pretty simple enough for you guys to set up. Now, once you guys have set up these parts of the insurance, you guys can start adding each policy per client. Now, the way to do that is, instead of doing it through settings and insurance, you do need to do that per client. So you need to come over to clients. And before you actually find the client that you're trying to, work with for a service or an upcoming appointment that you guys have with, you can add the tag pertaining to insurance to your clients, so you guys can filter out the search and just take a look at only the clients that have insurance. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Bobby today. And again, you'll see the insurance tab has the beta option over here. And here you can set up, in this case, Bobby's insurance policy. Okay, now first, before we add that, you can take a look at the claim settings and edit that right here. If the client is using insurance or if they are a self-pay client, you guys can toggle through those, as well as deciding to turn on or off either one of these options. Okay, it's as simple as just, again, toggling these on or off depending on your guys' needs. So let's go ahead and save that. Down here, we can add the insurance policy. At the moment, we have this policy active. You guys have the option to archive them if you choose to do so, or if you need to change any piece of information within what's already found in here, you have the option to do that even after you've saved it initially. Okay, now go ahead and save that. If you guys want to add another policy, feel free to do so by just clicking on new policy here and adding the information as requested right here. All right. Now, regarding coverage, guys, you do need to do that per service right over here. So for Bobby, in this case, we are going to come over to the list of services that you offer, which this is the entire list of services that I have in this workspace. And for each one of them, I can choose to either not cover it or set a copay or co-insurance percentage for that service particularly, okay? Now, again, this has to be done for each one of them, but this is only this has to be done only once. Once you set this up, you guys don't need to worry about having to do so every time you need to send out a claim or, whenever you have an upcoming appointment with this client, okay? Now, you can also take a look at any of the archived policies that you have on file by just toggling over to the archived section right here and choosing the one that you want to take a look at or activate again, okay? Now, we're kind of breezing through the settings, but one thing I wanted to focus on today is making sure that we go over the creation of the CMS 1500 claims through Carepatron and how that looks as of right now. Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions about setting up a payer, about setting up a policy, guys, feel free to ask Louis. As I said, it's really simple. All you guys need to do to set up a payer is come over to insurance and add them here in insurance payers. And to make sure you add the policy, just come over to the client's profile, insurance, and you just add the policy in the section down here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and create our first claim. So let's come over here to billing. Or actually, let's stay in Bobby's profile and create the claim from his billing section. So let's say Bobby's right here. He's in billing. I want to create a new claim. All I need to do is come over to this new button right here. I have options here. Some of you, if you've joined our previous webinars for billing or for our core features webinar, you might have already recognized this option. In here, you'll also find the claim creation option. At this time, we don't have item. Oh, we do actually. Great. So the system will automatically prompt any services that you guys have had with this client in the past to say, hey, do you want to add this to that claim? In this case, I'll go ahead and say, yep, let's go ahead and add this service and create the claim. So the system will automatically bring me to the claim where I just need to fill out or double check the information that's in here to make sure that the claim is created properly. Now, in this case, guys, since I am using fake information for, some of the pieces of information here, like the insurance payer and stuff like that, I won't be able to validate the claim, but I'll make sure I set you guys up to know how to add everything before you could successfully validate the claim. Okay. So first and foremost, we have policy member ID up here. The payer, again, since this is a demo, we don't have information for that. But down here, we can add the client information since we're already, in the client profile, creating the client from there, the claim, sorry, from there. It'll take the information for the client. Keep in mind, guys, if you have any questions throughout filling out the CMS 1500 claim, the system also has quick options for you guys to get the information that you need in case you don't know what to add in a section, okay? I can also add incident information over here. This, again, is per case, of course. So these need to be filled out every time you're creating a claim. You can add the rendering provider. So if it's not you, if it's somebody else in your team, you can change this information. It'll pull their information, their billing information here. In this case, let's just use the one that I already have on file. I could add another one if not only myself provided assistance or service for this client, and through this claim, I can also add another provider that might have rendered service for the client. I can also add referring providers of another doctor sent this client to you, and you need to add their information. You could just go ahead and add the referring provider right here. Okay, so you need to add their name. There we go. There we are. And their MPI number here, and any other ID. And also, if you want to include the refer information on the claim. Okay, so in this case, I'll go ahead and say yes. There we are. Now, where the service took place, you can choose from your locations, guys, so you don't need to fill out the information again. If you have the main office as your billing address and the service, like the place where the service took place, you could just add it and it'll automatically populate the information. Of course, guys, you have the option to change any piece of information before creating the claim or validating it. So don't feel like you guys are tied to the information that you already set up at the start of your workspace setting up. Okay. Now down here we have the insurance information, such as the policy that we're going to be using for this claim. This is the client's policy, the payer ID. All that information is going to be found right here. The coverage type. So I'll go ahead and say this is a TRICARE coverage, and client's address. Their information will be found right here. Oh, actually, not the client's address. Sorry about that. This is going to be the insurance, like the insurance that's providing the policy. Their address will be found right here. And then the policy information is down here with the client's information. Okay. Now, here is the billing information. This is your practice's billing information. Again, you could just choose from your billing profiles that we took a look at before that you could set up through the insurance settings. You could just choose from this drop-down menu, so you don't have to add the information every single time. You can add your taxonomy code right here if you guys want to, and also you can add your diagnoses down here. Okay, so for example, right here we have an initial service. We don't have a diagnosis attached to it. Let's just go ahead and select one right here. Let's say it's, there we go. And a date, pick a random date here. The end date was the 10th. There we go. And here I just add that diagnosis that I just added up here. Keep in mind, guys, if you already have a diagnosis attached to an invoice or to a note or to the client, the system will automatically pull it from the client profile. So you guys don't need to add the diagnosis again. Okay. If you need to add another service to this claim, feel free to do so directly through here. Any other information that you need to add, again, as it says here, supplementary info. If you need to add anything else right here, or anything that modified the regular, providing of this service or diagnosis of this service, feel free to go ahead and add it here. Last but not least, guys, any miscellaneous information that you need to have about this claim, you can add right here: resubmissions code, prior authorization numbers, account number, any additional claim information, you can go ahead and add right here. Now you can just save this. If you guys are not yet ready to go ahead and validate or send out this claim, you can just go ahead and save it, or even export it directly from here. Export it as a CMS 1500 or as simple text. Okay. One thing you can also do is mark as submitted, even though you have, it's not automatic. You can still mark it as submitted, just so you guys have that information as well available in the client's information over here. So you can monitor each claim through each client profile by coming over to the claims section right here. All right. Now let's say this claim that I have right over here has been validated. Like I said, since this isn't set up with real information, there it is. For the last one, it wasn't able to be submitted, but this one, perfect. Mark as submitted. There we are. And we can close this. You'll notice that status of the claim changes automatically right here. Okay. Now, if you need to add an insurance payment, guys, you can just come over to new up here and insurance payment right over here. Now you can choose the claim that you want to add to that payment. Since we already have this one over here submitted, we can't choose from it, but we just add the amount that we need to, pay for, and you'll be able to monitor that payment through the payment section over here. We have one already set up right here. You can take a look at the information or the details for that payment right through here. If you need to edit anything about this payment, keep in mind, guys, this is not going to affect the payment directly from the insurance or vice versa. This is just the information that's in here, so you guys can have proper information. So if you need to edit the information here, you could just remove one of the allocated items or change how much money is going to be allocated for that service. Let's just say it's going to be $10, and you can go ahead and save that. The system will tell you, okay, so we have $15 unallocated, and there is this message here, okay? Now, one thing you'll notice whenever you're using the Carepatron workspace, and as I said before, if you've joined us for previous webinars, is our system will always give you guys heads up if you're missing anything or if anything is out of the ordinary before you guys can move forward. Especially with insurance, guys, this is to make sure that you guys don't have any issues with your clients when it comes to, sending out these claims or requesting payments for these claims and the services, all right? So again, you can come back here, make sure you add, there we go, and you have no unallocated amount over here. Okay, guys? All righty. Now, another place where you can monitor claims is by coming over to billing and taking a look at claims right here. This will show you all the claims that you've generated, either submitted, still in the draft, just verified. All the claims will be found right here, dated with the claim number, the client that's attached to that claim, the amount, all of that information will be right here. And you can access the claim again directly through here. Same goes with the payment. You can take a look at the payments right here. So we have that payment that we made for the insurance right down here. And we can take a look at the details again right over here, guys. Okay. Now, I know you guys might have some questions regarding clearinghouse. And like I said before, automations for claim creation and submission to, the insurance payers. Those are coming very soon. The system, the team is still working on that part of the system. And we will be releasing that, like I said, prospectively by the end of this month. However, if there's any change, we will be more than happy to let you guys know about any changes to that due date. Keep in mind, guys, you do have the help center at all times available to ask any questions. If you guys need any assistance when going over the insurance setting up or adding payers or adding billing profiles, I know you have some questions still right here, so I'll make sure I go over those, any that are still remaining. But I do want to make sure that you guys know we are not yet done with the insurance release or the capabilities that will be available regarding insurance within the Carepatron workspace. Okay. So as of right now, what we have available is what I went through with you guys today. So I just wanted to make sure we did a quick run through again of basically what you guys need to do when you first set up insurance with Carepatron. If you haven't done so just yet, it's coming over to settings, insurance, setting up an insurance payer or the insurance payers for your clients, as well as your billing profile or any additional billing profile that you want to add. Once that is done, make sure that you come over to the client in question and make sure you add their insurance policy through the insurance section over here and set up the claim settings right up here as well. As I mentioned before, you do need to come over to each service and add the coverage or the copay or co-insurance percentage that you guys want to add for each service. Okay. To create claims, CMS 1500 claims, guys, remember you need to come over to billing and select new and claim. That will bring you guys to the claim page we were taking a look at before, where you can add information for the specific claim. Make sure you don't miss any piece of information. And if you do, remember the system is going to let you know, hey, I'm missing this important piece of information before we can validate this. So even if I try to validate it at the moment, as you can see, I'm still missing a lot of information. So the system will tell me, hey, we're still missing this, this, and this. So you guys feel completely sure that by the end of your fixing of these errors, you'll have a valid CMS 1500 claim. Okay. Remember, if you guys need to create insurance payments. You can also do so through here by coming over to new and clicking insurance payment. You will be brought over to this modal where you can add the information as needed. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So I notice we have a couple of questions still pending. I know Louis has been answering those questions, but I want to make sure we're not missing any potential question. So quick question, Louis. Are the questions that we have here still on the Q&A unanswered, or are we good to go on those? How are we doing? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Louis. Great question, team from Life Path Counseling. Yeah, we are working towards our clearinghouse connection with Claims MD. That is still not 100% finalized. I do want to make sure that you guys know that we are not yet set with Claim MD. But I will make sure to let you guys know when we have that clearinghouse that we have decided we're going to be working with, let you guys know what that clearinghouse is, so you guys can double check to see anything that you need to know about that clearinghouse before you move forward if you do want to use insurance through the Carepatron workspace. Okay, I don't have an exact timetable because, again, that's negotiation we're still doing with Claim MD, but I will make sure to let you guys know, as you guys have probably already seen, anytime there's a new release or any important information we need to let you guys know, we'll definitely reach out and share that information with you. Thank you for the question again. Oh, Lena, of course. Again, guys, this webinar is being recorded, so I'll make sure to send you guys a recording of this webinar. Don't even worry about if you missed a part of it, or if somebody else from your team might have wanted to join today but wasn't able to. Also, that resource will be available for you guys so you can share it with your team if somebody else needs to know this information but wasn't able to join, or you might have not thought about letting them know, but now you do. Feel free to go ahead and share that. We'll make sure to get you guys that resource. Okay. Now, if you guys have any other questions regarding insurance, if you guys have any other questions regarding, like I said, the setup of the information for policies, for payers, for billing profiles, you have the help center up here, guys. As you know, Ava is there to answer quick questions about insurance or about anything in general. But if you need us to help you guys out, maybe in a step-by-step guide or join a quick call, select the choice, the option, to talk to somebody from our team. We'll be more than happy to assist you guys. Okay, we can set up a 30-minute call where we go over how to set up your insurance, and we'll make sure you guys are set up for success with insurance billing. Okay, again, we will be releasing an email or probably a banner throughout the Carepatron workspace when we have the second part of insurance ready to go, which will be automation. I do recommend going over these parts that I talked about today, setting up the payers, setting up the policies, setting up your billing profiles, because by the time that insurance automation is ready to go, you guys will be one step ahead and we'll need to set up everything by that point. So you'll be ready to go when the automation is done. You guys will be one step ahead. Okay. Do we have any other questions? I think we are good for them. Oh, no, I do see a couple more questions down here. Yes, so James, definitely. Once you have made the claim, you can print those out or you can email them to the client. You might have noticed there was the option over here to print it out. You could just go ahead and select that and you'll be brought to the option to print it out or save it as a PDF if you want to go ahead and send it via email. Definitely. Great question, Hannah. So we will not increase the cost of the platform or the subscription itself. So subscription prices will stay the same. However, there will be a charge for the claims, but there isn't an exact piece of information for that. I'll make sure to let you know what that is, Hannah. But yeah, the subscription price is not going to be increased because of insurance, even by the time we have the automation done, okay? Oh, Madeline, that's a great question. Let me reach out to the team regarding that one, and I'll make sure to reach out to you and provide the information as soon as I have it. Thank you so much for that question. That's a great one. So she was asking how does this take into account if payments are being allocated towards deductibles? If you guys want to make sure that I answer that question for you as well, please let me know. I'll make sure to send you guys that information as soon as the team provides that for me. Thank you again, Madeline. That was a great question. Okay, Hannah. Yeah, I believe it will be available for all. Uh, Again, this feature is supposed to be available through all of our subscriptions and for all subscription types or practice types. So no need to worry about you guys being blocked off for not applying for the usage of insurance. Again, I don't have the exact amount that the claim cost will be, but I'll make sure I give you guys that information as soon as I know it. Thank you guys again for asking that. You will be able to see those copay amounts in Carepatron. I mean, if you want to double check the client benefits on the MCO website, feel free to do so. But yeah, you guys will have the possibility to see those copay amounts through the Carepatron workspace as well, Hannah. Ooh, and again, another great question, Hannah. I'll make sure I ask the team about EAP submissions um, when we have the automations live. So I'll definitely share that information as well. Thank you so much, Hannah. Great questions. All righty. I do think we are good for the moment. So I do see a couple of you guys upvoting the questions again. Thank you so much for that, guys. Is there anybody else? Any other question that you guys might have? If nothing pops up right now, guys, don't even worry about it. Even if a minute after today's call, you guys think of a question that you want to share, remember we have the help center right there. Shoot us a question through there. We'll be happy to answer it for you. Okay. All righty, team. I think we are good to go on the questions. Right. Yep. Thank you, Louis. Yep. All righty, guys. Now, again, remember, I'll make sure to send you guys a recording of this webinar after today's session is done. In that same email that the recording is going to be included, you'll find a survey. If you guys could help us out with that, we'd really appreciate your guys' feedback. Oh, great question now, Jamie. We'll be able to verify insurance eligibility through Carepatron or specific clients. That is a great question, Jamie. I think I believe there will be that possibility. Let me just double check before I tell you something 100%. Because yeah, I think the system is supposed to be able to catch if the client insurance policy is eligible for your guys' practice. But I'll double check that with the team before I tell you 100% how that's going to work. Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Let me go ahead and shoot that to the team right now. Perfect. Great question, Jamie. Thank you so much. Yep, there is no additional charge for the insurance feature. Each claim will have a charge, but again, I don't have the exact amount that charge is going to be. But we will not increase your subscription price for any one of our plans, okay? And the insurance feature will not have an extra cost. Much like everything else on our platform, guys, the insurance feature will be included in your profiles. However, like I said, claims will have a cost. I will make sure to send you guys that information as soon as I have it. We are still working on API connections, Madeline. That will be prioritized in the second half of this year. So we're close to starting on the API connections and development. We'll make sure to let you know about that once we have more information about it, Madeline. Alrighty, guys. Yes, definitely, Misty. As soon as we have that automation available, we'll have the part two. That is why I had the part one in the initial slide for today's webinar, because I want to make sure that you guys know this is not all that will be available regarding insurance through the Carepatron workspace, but we wanted to make sure that you guys knew how to use the tools and the capabilities that are available as of right now. Okay, but yeah, definitely, Misty. We'll make sure to let you guys know when that part two is ready to go once that automation is done, so you guys can also know how that's going to work. Great question regarding the insurance cost. Let me double check that to see if you guys will have the possibility to choose as you do at the moment with online payments. But yeah, great question about if the insurance cost will go to the client or the therapist, guys. Let me go ahead and again shoot that to the team right now. Okay, perfect. Not in the Carepatron workspace at the moment, Madeline. I'll talk to the team to see if there's anything we can do to help in that regard. But yet, not through the Carepatron workspace as of right now, Madeline. I apologize. Let's see. Okay, all righty. Alrighty, team. So again, make sure you guys keep an eye out for the email with this today's webinar recording and the survey. Please share your feedback. We use that to make sure we get better with these webinars and make sure that we are implementing the features that you guys need in the Carepatron workspace. Even if you guys don't have anything regarding feedback for this session, but more regarding how the usage of the platform itself feels, how the insurance settings are showing up in the workspace. If there's anything you want to share regarding feedback for that, we're always open. You can use that email that I'm going to send or the help center as well to share it at any point. Okay. It's been a pleasure to have you guys with me today. Thank you so much for joining. If you need any assistance regarding anything else regarding the platform, you have the Help Center. Remember, you can start a conversation with us or use the Get Started with Carepatron and Help Center options down here. Thank you guys again so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.